what took credit. Do you want me to try to load up XSplit?
Hang on. It might have just
We're offline on the
auto-corrected.
stream. It froze up.
Everybody looks fine.
I'm not dropping any more frames.
Yeah,
Says I'm still live.
back.
Says I'm still live.
I think we're good.
That was weird. It dropped almost 600 frames and then was good.
I'm not complaining.
It just farted on me, so oh well.
That is a pretty cool concept, though.
The joys of technology.
Yeah, I would love to get involved with it because I mean, like I said, it's no secret that I've done Olympic style air rifle, and I would love to eventually coach that. And I competed under standard qualifications, not necessarily disabled qualifications. I've been told that there may be possibilities for me to actually compete as a Paralympic athlete based on physical handicaps. But the idea of being able to do that and being able to be an able-bodied athlete in a normal Olympic standards doesn't really appeal to me. So I would definitely never want to infringe on someone else's ability to represent our nation that way. But the idea that now that they have gaming associated with it and its intellectual disabilities that they're primarily focusing on is just very unique aspect, because a lot of people, I've seen the arguments a few years ago where it was a huge argument saying that, well, gaming isn't a sport because it doesn't involve physical elements, and nobody really can tell, but when you look at people who have been playing games for hours and hours on end on really high professional levels, you see them and they have been sweating, their heart rate's been increased, it's almost like having for some people an anxiety attack if they don't know what they're doing, or the adrenaline's still flowing, and all the elements that you would see inside an actual normal sport are still there. They're just not physically actively moving their muscles as much as some of the other sports. And I've always used the argument that chess is considered a sport, so therefore, and that's a highly mental sport, and you've seen it early on with some of the chess grandmasters that are under high levels of stress, and their adrenaline is going because it's exhilarating, and their mind thought process is just off the charts, and being able to play chess even 2 or 3 or 4 moves ahead of your opponent is just insane, and being able to do that in microseconds for some of these athletes playing video games is just incredible. So,
and there's many there's many autistic and extremely skilled in things like engineering, things that involve.
We need to get you a new microphone.
Yeah, we need to get you a new mic.
It fades in and out randomly. I think because we can hear you again now.
What I was saying was that it's a lot of the autistic people are really, really good at engineering and things like really intense. Pretty incredible.
This is so frustrating for me.
We can see your webcam is functioning properly. It's just your mic.
It just randomly cuts out.
It's just the volume is low, and then it goes to where we can see you still speaking. So if anyone's really good at reading lips, we can understand exactly. Yeah, there you go. But if anyone's really good at reading lips, we can still understand what you're saying. But Mahil can't understand you. So
there goes that language barrier.
Oh man.
So, shall we move on to the next topic, or do you have more to share, Tim?
I don't know. I could probably talk about this the entire podcast if you really want me to, so I'm just saying.
Let's not. Time at the end, trust me, it is fascinating. But if we have more time at the end, we can visit it again. But I do want to hear what everyone else has to say. So, Joe, what are you bringing to the table today?
Hey, excuse me. Getting back onto the topics I sort of did more with the start of the show. I found a game this week that looked really interesting, and so I decided to pick it up because it was on sale on the Humble store for like I think $5, but I think it's $15 for the full price on Steam. Let me double check that. Oh, it's already in my library. Okay, never mind. It's $6 on Steam. I got it on sale for like $4 though, so whatever. Anyways, it's a really interesting little puzzle game by an indie company named Bedtime Digital Games. So I'm pretty sure this is their first game because Bedtime Digital, back to bed, sort of the same little theme going on with their name and their company name. But basically the game is about you are this dude's subconscious, and as he's sleepwalking through this like dreamscape, you have to keep him from like falling off the sides or running into things that wake him up. And so the only way that you can do this is by placing these apples in front of him.
Apples?
Which, yeah, it's not supposed to make sense. It's a dream game.
Okay.
So, you basically take the apple, you place it in front of him, and he turns clockwise. He never turns the other direction. He only can turn clockwise, which has messed me up a lot at the start of playing it. I haven't finished it yet. I've gotten through a few of the chapters in it. But, like, he always turns clockwise, and sometimes I'd place down an apple thinking, oh, I'll turn left this time, and then he would just, like, walk off the edge. But, anyways, it's an odd game. Like, there's a lot of, like, non-Euclidean geometry stuff going on in it that sort of takes a lot to understand. They sort of solved the problem with that sort of thing by having you just run into a wall when you would think there would be a wall. It makes sense. Like, it's not clunky in the way that they handle it at all. But, it's really interesting, and every once in a while, like, the narrator will say a phrase, and a lot of times it's something like, don't let Bob wake up, or get Bob to bed. But, sometimes he says weird things, like, at the beginning of the game, there's a sign in the background that you see. In the cutscenes, there's no narration. It's just, like, there's just sentences written down. And, at the beginning of the game, one says Bob is narcoleptic, and then during the game at some point, the narrator just came and said, the apple is narcoleptic. Like, it says it weirdly spaced out and stuff.
Okay.
It's odd, and it's sort of supposed to be, I guess, slightly off-putting, and I think it's supposed to get slightly disturbing at some point, because because it's supposed to go into nightmares, I believe, at some point, which is what I'm excited for, just to see how they sort of make it a little bit more unsettling. But it's really interesting. It's really fun. It's also available on Android, which I didn't know, which was funny because that was one of the first complaints I had about the game in my head was like, I really wish this was an Android game because I would love to have it on my phone. But it's available for Android through the Google Store, but the controls, of course, are much more clunky on the phone rather than they would be, with the controller, which they do suggest you play with a controller, which is another bonus for me because I like playing with a controller rather than playing with mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
A lot. It's also available on every platform, so you can get it for Windows, Mac, Linux, and also I'm looking at its awards, and a lot of its awards are really old, even though it just came out in 2014. So I guess they were showing like demo reels to people because it's got the Independent Games Festival winner for the Student Showcase, Dutch Game Awards 2012, Guts and Glory Award 2012, award finalist for the Unity competition of 2012, finalist in Nordic Game Indie Night for 2012, and the Indie Prize for Europe 2014 for the Best Console Game nomination.
Nice.
So it's got a lot of awards, which is a really good way to know if an indie title is actually going to be worth your money. Quite honestly, because normally if they have a lot of awards, it's actually going to be a pretty good game. And of course, all those reviews on Steam, I think, are positive. I haven't seen it. There is one negative, and I didn't really read through it because it's only got an hour on record, which, I mean, it's a really short game. But
can you post a link to the Steam store page in the Twitch chat when you're done, by the way?
Okay. But yeah, that's about it. It's just a really fun game. I'll probably play it to the completion so that I can review it if I ever get around to writing a review. I still need to for Dark Souls.
It would have been cool if you streamed playing it on the GTInsider. Like, that would have been fun.
Yeah. I should have thought of it. I'll have
Well,
to
maybe when you go to finish it, you can stream from wherever you left off till the end, or
Okay.
till you get tired of streaming.
Yeah. This is the link, by the way. It's in the Twitch chat now if anybody wants to check it out.
Sweet.
But yeah, it's definitely one of the best indie games I've picked up that's recently come out. Because like the other ones, like Paranautical Activity was one that I was excited for, but it sort of disappointed me, quite honestly. And then it got pulled from Steam because one of the programmers thought it was a wise decision to write a murder threat on Twitter to Gabe.
Yeah.
When he messed up what happened behind that was he messed up, or not, Gabe didn't mess it up. Steam messed up switching it from early access to full release, which quite honestly, in my opinion, my opinion is it didn't deserve a full release yet anyways. The menus are really ugly. It's the store interface in game is rather clunky. I think they should have worked on it a little bit longer anyways, but it got pulled from Steam. It's not a bad game, especially if you like bullet hell roguelikes, but it's not a bad game. It didn't deserve to be pulled. It wasn't so bad it deserved to be pulled from Steam, but one of the developers did do that stupid tweet, and so it got pulled. But now he resigned, and so the rest of the developers are sort of scrambling to try and get it back on Steam because that's the only way to keep the game alive, you know. So.
Yeah, I read about that. He wrote a death threat to Gabe, and then after that, he supposedly like divested himself from everything and
that was such a
related to the
terrible
company.
idea on his part. Like,
Yeah,
why
it's
would
because he basically screwed his company over, honestly, by doing the death threat. That game was their only game they had released. They had nothing else to like fall back on. A lot of other people were working on it besides him, but he used the company's Twitter to tweet that tweet. So that is on the company then.
Yeah.
And that guy, but
really
it's still like
messed up
that
there.
one guy was the guy who was solely responsible for everything that had just happened, other than Steam failing to switch it to to full release, which isn't a big deal. I don't even think there was going to be a price increase or anything. It just said early access on it instead of being a normal Steam page. But yeah, it's no longer for sale on Steam last time I checked. They are in talks, I believe, or at least the company is trying to get into talks with Steam people to get it back on, since the guy who did the stuff is no longer associated with the company. He gave up all rights to the game. He will not be getting any money from the game anymore. Like, he is as good as gone from the game, other than his intellectual property is in it, but he has no rights to it because he said,
because he's an idiot.
Yeah, and I feel bad.
Exactly.
Hopefully he
one way to
learns
put it.
and hopefully he'll get hired by another company eventually, because he's shown that he can program a game, and he's shown that he can design pretty well. It's just that he needs somebody to keep him under control, apparently.
I think it's going to take a while for him to
company.
prove that he can keep himself under control. Because, yeah, you can program, but if you can't keep yourself in check.
Yeah, and it's really disappointing because, like, while I said the game disappointed me personally, it did have a pretty good community around it that enjoyed playing it. And I mean, they still have the community page. You could still play the game, but I don't think we can get any updates if it's not on the Steam store. Like, I think the game might be dead in the water now as far as updates go, but I don't know about that for sure.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he just didn't say, hey, you need to fix this, instead of just losing it and making all these death threats. And
apparently he was very stressed out a lot of the time, but that's still no excuse.
I'm like, still. I mean, he put a lot of stuff on the line for that one tweet. Like,
yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, but my door's open. Oh.
Well, that's fine. We'll go ahead and shift to Alex while you do that.
Okay.
Yeah, and he tweeted to the wrong person too, of all people. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So let's go ahead and shift into your topic, Alex.
So, being I am a gamer of all platforms, whether it's PC, Xbox, PS4. Most of my streaming is on PS4. Actually, all of it at the moment is on PS4 until I find something else. But I've been looking at this, been intrigued by this Alienware Alpha. Is there, since the Steambox, from what I recall, it bombed as far as Dell's concerned. So they switched their switched the Steam box into like a hybrid Windows 8.1 console. So which lets you can actually play Steam games on your TV in 1080p.
So are they removing the Linux boot to it, or because I think that was one of the primary reasons why I was interested in the Steam OS and stuff like that. Because if they're removing the Steam OS from a Steam box,
for Dell's machine in particular, it's going to be Windows 8.1, and its console mode puts you into Steam, and then there's a desktop mode which lets you operate it like a PC.
Okay.
So and then in their cases, no, they're not doing as far as I know, they're not doing a Linux OS because it wasn't good. According to an article some time back, it just wasn't worth the money for them to even bother going that route. So they came up with this idea, trying and put PC gaming into the console arena.
It's interesting that they didn't want to go with Linux, considering that Linux is getting a ridiculous amount of support now from a lot of things, but it's whatever. If the company didn't think it was worth it.
Well, there is that, but also I'm not sure how far Wine has come across, and I know I was watching a buddy try and play stuff on Linux using Wine. He's playing PC games, and back then, this was probably a couple of years ago, it wasn't Wine wasn't supported, or Wine didn't really support that many PC games. But the one thing I do really like about it is you can upgrade the machine yourself, which is actually pretty nice. So you can swap out the RAM, the hard drive, the processor. The only thing you can't swap out is the GTX 680 mobile processor that's hardwired in there. So you can't change that. But there are 4 models though too. The base model comes with they say it's 550 and has a Intel Core i3 2.9 gigahertz, 4 gigs of DDR3 RAM, and a 500 gig hard drive. And it goes all the way up to 900, which gives you an Intel i7 quad core with 8 gigs of RAM and 2 terabyte drive.
What's the graphics processor on? Is it the same all around, or did they upgrade that as well?
It doesn't say anything about them changing the processor, but it does. It just are changing the graphics chip, but it does give you some options out of the box, so you don't have to actually go and upgrade it. Go and upgrade it yourself, but you can. I mean, it's
because 700 outside of it having an integrated graphics card, 900 for something with an i7 and 2 terabytes is actually not that bad at all.
It's not, and I mean I saw some gameplay with Shadows of Mordor on the base unit, the 549 model, and it ran pretty respectable, but it's
I'm just still shocked that they're able to use an i3 to run that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about optimization.
Yeah, but then of course they threw Crysis 3 on there and the system started crying. So.
Crysis is always going to be the benchmark for everything for a long time.
I think that Crysis's job is to make the system cry.
Their engine's actually really nice. It's fancy. I can't use it. I looked at it and I was like, I'm not going to be able to figure this out in the near future.
Oh, man.
Well, it did. Crysis did get a little less hardware demanding from the first one, but that's the first one was what I used for benchmarking my older PCs in terms of if it can play Crysis on Macs, I'm good.
But they're expecting to ship these things towards the end of the end of November. So like next month you're looking at having these things in less than a month. You're looking at having these things actually be in people's homes and ready to go. So I think that's pretty interesting.
I like the idea, and it will let you, if you go into desktop mode, you can actually load up games off of Origin and other sources too.
I still find it interesting that they're going to be shipping it with 360 controllers too. So, because I remember seeing kind of the original, like Steam had developed kind of their own controller for these things too.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm still waiting for them to release that so I can buy it. I want a Steam controller really bad.
It looks so interesting.
it does. It really does.
I want it just to poke at it. Even if I don't use it, I just want to poke at it.
Exactly. It's like even if I don't actually end up enjoying using it, it'll still probably be fun to mess with on the on an occasion or two.
Yeah, it's so fascinating.
But they haven't released an update about that thing in ages. I'm gonna look up to see when the last
I'm
article
guessing
was
Steam's doing their whole thing of letting stuff shut down without doing a whole lot of press release on it. Because like you go back and you look at the Greenlight program. The Greenlight program hasn't actually officially greenlit any games since August. But they'll still go in. They'll greenlight like 1 or 2 individual titles, but they're not doing mass greenlights anymore. They're not doing like 50 titles, 75 title stuff.
Of course.
So, but they announced back in January that they were planning on shutting it down for some different platforms. So, just to kind of revisit that topic a little bit, but it's still very interesting how Steam and Valve is controlling this stuff, because if they're letting Dell do that with their Alienware side of the house, then what other companies are going to do that? Or is this it makes you beg the question: is it an official Steam box, or is it just kind of they're claiming it to work for Steam?
Okay, there's actually been an update. There was an update at least in August on a design of the Steam controller, which adds an analog stick to one side. They still have the 2 trackpads sort of things going on, but they do have an analog stick now as well on the left side.
On the left side?
Yeah.
If I find that interesting, but okay.
Link. Yep.
Find
Actually, this is from July. Why did it say August when I looked at the article? Oh wait. Here it is.
Who knows?
Links in the chat. But
I really want to see.
I have no clue.
But each version does come with the graphics card is a 2 gig GDDR5. But I think it's still the 860M though, or
760.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a 760.
860M.
Okay, I was gonna say I got a 760
860,
in my computer. It's handling everything that modern games are throwing at it with grace under pressure. I think I've had a few times that my computer has just. I don't think I've ever had a problem where it was actually my graphics card. I think most of the time it's been my power supply recently.
Yeah,
Isn't a big deal.
For me, it's mostly a CPU bottleneck now, so which is impressive because I haven't overclocked it, so I'm still waiting on that.
I just have issues with technology in general, so that's my problem. Like, no matter what I touch, I get an issue with it at some point, and it's always a response from my friends of, it's not supposed to do that, and then they don't know how to help me fix it. And I'm just like, so that's my bottleneck. It's just, I have bad luck.
The only thing they don't mention is to what extent can you expand it to? Can you throw in 16 gigs of RAM or what?
That's true.
I don't know. It's very interesting because the model that they have, it does look like a console. It does look like a console. It is definitely designed to sit there and take up the same amount of space as a console would. It's definitely designed to be played on a television. So I find it a little bit interesting. So I'm probably not going to get it because PC Master Race, but
I'm happy with my PC. My TV is my computer monitor, so to have a console really isn't smart for me. I mean, I have my consoles; they're actually all right here, but they're all old. It's PS2, the original Xbox, and the GameCube. That's the extent of my consoles, and to play them, I have to move them from the shelf to the computer table. Then I got to connect it to the TV, find my controllers, and I'm like, this is too much work. I'll just stick to the PC. Everything is right here. Now, when I get another TV or another monitor or something, I might be more inclined to do so. But until then, or if I get like a switcher for all of my consoles, I can just push a button and switch from one console. I used to have one of those. I don't know what happened to it. But anyway, that's a tangent. Did you have anything else you wanted to elaborate on this, Alex? Do you think they're going to allow it to be upgradable, or is it going to be locked down like normal consoles?
No, you can upgrade it yourself. You can go out and buy the components on your own, or you can just, if you know, for people who may not be maybe worried about, you know, opening it up and doing it themselves, you can just buy one of the higher versions too. I mean, $900 isn't a bad price at all.
No.
That's for sure.
Considering how much you'd spend on a gaming PC.
Oh yeah, and you know, considering graphics card, you know, it'll cost you almost as much as that nowadays.
But I mean, the idea of a Steam box is most Steam games, you know, out there that are indie games, anyways, are controllable compatible. So I mean, yeah. Joe would probably be the one to be more inclined to use this than myself, for instance, because I love using my computer. That's not saying I don't like controllers, but you know, for someone like Joe's setup where he plays mostly everything that he can get his hands on, and then on top of that, if he can use a controller over a keyboard any day, he's that type of guy, you know. So, yeah, I mean it's.
It does use all accessories though, all PC accessories, keyboard, mouse, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. No more sitting there trying to arrow over on the.
Oh yeah, no,
that's so frustrating.
You can hook a USB keyboard up to a 360. Okay, so that tech's been around for a while. You can I've done it with mine before.
I don't have one, so I didn't know that.
You can hook a USB keyboard up to a 360.
Tim could send those rage messages after getting.
I know. It's because you know I can type on a keyboard faster than I can anything else. So why would I get the little gamepad thing that connects to the front of the 360 controller whenever I can just use a full on keyboard that I already have? So.
But I mean, it's true. I mean, you can if you go into desktop mode, it works exactly like a PC. So you hook up your keyboard to it, and have at it. Nice. Keyboard, mouse, do all your stuff there.
And that's the idea of this. That's what I love about Valve's and their Steam platform. So, is they're trying to make it to where you can literally play anything anywhere that you own. So they're literally trying to take it if it is even a remotely close to a TV or a computer monitor or any type of screen, they want you to be able to play their products on it. Or, the products they're hosting anyways. So
exactly.
It's very, very cool. All right, let's go ahead and shift the show into all things Gaming Tribe, because we are coming down to the wire at the end here. And I noticed that Mihail is asking Alex to comment on the upcoming changes. If we have time and if he's allowed, we can do that. But for now, as most should be aware by now, the posting policy has been updated for Gaming Tribe and now includes topics such as anime and manga, gaming memes, zombies, cybernetics, and much more. Even a few personal happenings are allowed, because that's fair. Besides, I would always weasel those in anyway. I would just throw something in about games at the end, and it would be... Anyway, there are a lot of statuses floating around on the site that have a link to the full list, and we'll get it into the chat at some point as well. So please keep it to the posting status. Remember, there's no cursing. If you have to, make up another word for it. Like shrimp instead of ish. Anyway, keep it that. Don't suggest anything illegal or even hint at it. Just don't. We do not want Gaming Tribe associated with anything on that front. If you do that sort of stuff, that's fine. Don't talk about it on G-Tribe. Keep that private, because again, it's an association and a reputation we don't want. We've worked so hard to get where we are now. We don't want to tarnish it at all. Moving on to the next thing. In just 2 weeks, the Extreme Annihilation giveaway has surpassed 40,000 participants. So big shout out to the first set of level up winners. I am jealous. They all received a case of balls, or if they were outside of the US, a package of balls goodies. And the next level up is going to be at 50K. So keep sharing those links, those PGLs. Let's get them out there. And speaking of PGLs, we've had a total of 3,780 people join the giveaway through the use of those personal giveaway links. So thank you guys for sharing it around. Keep it up. Let's get the word out there. G-Tribe's a new place to be. For all gamers, anyway. I don't want Facebookers on G-Tribe. That's something we don't want. Anyway, I say anyway a lot. Sorry. Big congratulations to Mass Luminosity as becoming the first G-Tribe page to surpass the 70,000 fans mark. Kudos to them.
70,000.
Awesome,
we have
awesome.
70 million people now.
You know what I mean. Don't pick on. You were just waiting for something.
I was. Sorry.
You know me. I always just say stuff. Also, whoever Brett Chambers is, I need to know your secrets. He has had 348 people use his PGL to join the contest. Like, I'm at 90 and I thought I was pretty good. And then I saw his numbers and everyone above me and I just, what is he doing? That, God, I need to figure it out.
I'll just say more to come on that.
Ooh.
Way to tease us there, Alex. Jeez.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Man, now I'm super curious.
Tease us.
What I want to do as a side, though, is I want to, let me actually get to the page first. I want to give a shout out to some of the other pages or sponsor pages that are out there because we have so many Gaming Tribe members. I think, what are our numbers now? Let's look at the page. We're 243,000 people, almost 244. And yet, Shack News only has 6,740 fans, and only 3 in the past week. Let's show them some love, man. I mean, we want to show them that we care about what they do. Balls, that's my school district. Balls and HyperX and XFX and Logitech are all at the 64,000 mark, but Shack News is kind of trailing behind there. So let's see if we can get them some love. I'm gonna, if someone hasn't beat me to it already, yeah, I'm gonna post their link in the. Too late. I beat you. Because I notice I haven't been seeing them post a lot lately. Actually, no, they posted about 8 hours ago. But they don't post very much, and I'm hoping maybe if we can get more fans, they'll post more often, because their stuff's really interesting.
They post once a day.
Oh.
They do.
Yeah,
they post once a day.
I always look at it, but honestly, when I scroll through my feed, I usually look at who posted what after I've read it. So, because I just scroll through and read everything, and then afterwards I'm like, who said that? So I didn't notice that. But still, maybe if they have more fans and they realize their viewership is bigger, they'll post more often, because like I said, they always have something awesome to share or watch. I don't know if I'm missing anything, Tim, Alex, anything G-Tribe related?
Well, there's the news about the RWD, which
Right.
is still in development, and we get
Getting
those
so-
teases from Angel.
I'm so impatient for that.
Yeah. On that
Well,
note, one of the updates is going to include kind of badges. You have the verification badge, which is just the check mark after your name, which is fully updated profile. An actual picture of you. Kind of like yeah. So whatever kind of face you want to make, as long as you can identify that it's you and it's not some random person off the internet. Because we're not random people. We're people who wanted to get to know each other to some degree. But the new badges are also going to include some shiny, nice little staff badges. I hear you're going to get some of those over there on the Mass Luminosity side, and community volunteer badges as well. So we'll be able to identify ourselves for those of us who are community volunteers. And I don't know, Kat, you're the one that's super excited about this. So what's your opinion on these new badges?
Well, I'm just more excited about the look of the website on the phone, because navigating the website on my phone is actually even on my tablet, is the hugest pain in the world. The badges I think are cool. I like shinies, and those kind of count as shinies on the website aspect, so I'm all over it. And I'm curious to see where it's going to go. Like, we've got the staff, and we've got the volunteer and the verified, but what other badges are there going to be? I'm very curious as to how far they're going to take it. No, you're not going to get a diabetic badge.
If I had to speculate, If I
If
had
that's
to
the case, I want a
speculate.
cat badge.
If I had to speculate, I would say that there will also be badges for notable people inside our sponsorship. So AMD representatives that on their actual personal profiles, and just to start there. So I would be interested. I don't know if anyone's going to confirm or deny that. I saw Alex kind of nodding his head a little bit, like maybe it might be a possibility, or he's just doing his typical. Well, you'll just have to wait and see. So
yeah, he's like a master at that. It drives me absolutely crazy.
But I would love to see something like that. Another speculation might be
multiple PC profiles because I have 2.
Yep.
Wait, you have 2 GT profiles?
No.
Multiple PC pages on your profiles. I have 2 computers.
I feel like you should
Yeah,
you type out your first PC spec and then put like /PC2 and then put the next one in for each part.
Good. That's too
Until
much work.
the next one shows up, I remember when we were worried about having multiple hard drive profiles because a lot of people have that. So that was one of the first additions. I do want to say another congratulations to the Level Up winners. I know you already said that for the 40,000 participants and Balls being the sponsor there. The 2 winners from the USA will be getting a case of Balls, and of course Balls has issues with shipping their product outside of the US. So instead they're going to get some. The one winner from the Philippines, Carrie, there is going to get some sweet merchandise from them.
I hope we see pictures because I want to know what they get.
Oh, it's probably going to be. You can probably see some on the last global PC winner because he also resided outside the U.S. and got sent a whole bunch of merchandise. It's ridiculously awesome. T-shirts, bags.
I'm so jealous.
The Balls bottle openers, all kinds of like stickers and merchandise, and just
Swag.
it's basically like you went to a convention and got all this stuff. But you didn't have to go to the convention to do so. You just had to win.
Nice.
So,
before we continue, Alex, Tyler would like to know if you have an answer or can at least hint to us. Why has G-Tribe been going down for a bit so often? Is it server maintenance or is it testing of the RWD? Do you by any chance know, or what can you tell us?
I can't say with any certainty about any particular event. It could be I know previous time it was a ISP outage somewhere out on in Angel's neck of the woods. Other times it could very well be that they're tinkering with the new setup.
Sorry, Tyler, I tried.
welcome to what we hear every day as part of the community team.
It's so frustrating.
Hey guys, special news! You'll hear about it in 3 weeks. Oh,
I hate that. Just tell me in 3 weeks.
I got to give you something to to keep you on the edge of your seat.
Blissfully oblivious is a lovely thing sometimes. As opposed to saying, what is it? What is it? Oh my god, what is it? Has it been 3 weeks yet? No, it's only been 2 days.
But I am glad you guys are getting the badges too, so people can identify you when they're cruising through G-Tribe, especially since you go through, look at the post, you moderate, and you message people, and when you message them, they can see your name, they'll see the volunteer tag, and they'll know that they're getting a message from a volunteer,
and not just someone being a pain in the butt.
Yeah. So I think that just adds a little more weight to what you guys do.
I definitely look forward to those. It'll be very cool. Joe, Tim, did you have anything? Oh, sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
Oh, and I'll just say the other badges, and based on Angel's comments in the post about them, who knows what other things could be? It could be, it could be something for the grand prize winner badge. Who knows?
That's actually what I was hinting at when I said I'm curious to see where it goes. I'm thinking people who are winners might get badges for themselves, which I think would be really cool, even if I am jealous.
I just don't see him throwing around badges all willy-nilly, but we'll see some badges that are noteworthy. I'm sure.
You wouldn't want to throw them around everywhere anyway, because that kind of makes them not as cool. It's like everybody gets one.
I'm just a little jealous that y'all staff pages, your staff badges, not pages. I don't know. Your staff badge is going to be based on, and Angel said this in one of his comments, the To Infinity and Beyond that he always uses. So I'm a little curious to see what they look like and how you can kind of craft a badge related to that. But I think it's gonna be sweet. So yeah.
Is there anything
badges,
else?
sorry.
No, that's if there's anything else. So perfect.
I was saying the badges for you guys are fitting too, because it shows basically two people, 2 people badge. Kind of to notate community, so it's good.
I like it a lot.
So many maybes and you'll sees. My curiosity is in like overdrive right now.
There's also
down.
Messenger, GT Messenger. That's
I'm very huge
thing I am looking forward to.
Because the current chat system, I don't like it.
We could spend a whole another hour on the conversations that Alex and I have had over the last few months about this GT Messenger side of the house. So I think we've had many late night for me, kind of early evening for you, conversations about when in the world is this thing going to launch, and I hear the same thing I hear from everyone else on the ML staff: soon, or when it's ready. So
it's a good word to use, soon.
Awesome.
Hat, I swear.
So I'd like to introduce everyone to Brian Adams. And this is my friend Brian Adams. He knew that I would be doing this today, and he is going to be playing games with me all this week. He's down here to help me push Gold League and League of Legends with his superior knowledge and skills as a platinum level player. But he wanted to make a gift to Kat and show her this awesome hat of his.
See, showing me isn't so much as a gift as mailing it to her.
Oh, okay. So she said you can mail it to her if you would like.
It just costs $20.
Yeah, it's $20. Is what it costs to make it.
We all know you're a scrub at League because you can't do Elise support.
Well, at least I had the Victoria skin, signifying.
Yeah, I know. I just got good with Elise finally. I'm like, man, maybe I should have actually tried to do ranked last season.
Oh, man.
But
let's go and shift over because we are reaching the end of our cast. I do want to try to keep it within
absolutely
our time frame today. So, Tim, where can everyone find you online?
Everyone can find me wherever things pop up on the screen. So on Gaming Tribe, Steam, Battle.net, Twitch, and League, either at DELKA Delka or D3LKA also Delka, and then whatever the Battle.net pound 1814 works out well. So
I really need to update Joe's on with his, but he's never on Battle.net, so actually I'm gonna be bothered because Joe, you suck.
Huh?
Nothing.
I'm sorry, I'm too busy playing games with artistic integrity.
Oh, shut up, jerk. If it wouldn't mess up the stream, I would have kicked you from the call for that. Anyway, Joe, where can I find you?
You can find me on League at 2 places. Are both of my League accounts on my overlay thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
If I still actually have the second League account, I need to log into it today and make sure it's not been deleted for inactivity. But you can find me at League. The MLG account is my Smurf account. So that's a lower level account that I can play with newer people on, without y'all getting pulled into level 30 matchups, which would not be fun at all for anybody involved. You can find me on Battle.net if I happen to get on it. I just haven't been feeling into Hearthstone or Diablo 3, so it's there. You can add me, and I might eventually add you back. I'm almost always on. It's not there?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's 1854 is my number, and Diabuda is the name. Spelled the same as it is everywhere else. You can find me on Steam at Diabuda. I'll probably add you, but I'm probably going to start deleting people soon because I almost never talk to half the people on my Steam thing.
I do that too.
So, yeah. It's getting a bit hard for me to see the people that I always game with when I'm looking through my friends list. So, Yeah, but if you game with me, then you'll probably be fine. Yeah, that's about it though.
Perfect. Alex, I don't know if I have an overlay for you or not from the last time, but anyway, where can everyone find you?
So on Gaming Tribe, it's gamingtribe.com/profile/Alex, and on Steam it is Nmalthus, Nmalthus.
Nice. Very nice.
And
I don't remember how to spell that already, but very nice.
And well, yeah, and I don't talk to very many people on Steam, but I do use it to ninja in games to people like Tim, that out of his comfort zone.
Very much so. And if that has
Like
any
Revolver
kind of,
360.
if that has any kind of, I'll have to stream it sometime this week. But if that game has any kind of puzzle elements to it, you're about to watch how miserable it was for me to actually play Elemental. But Elemental was so much fun because of the music and the storyline behind it and the simplicity of the game. But it was so aggravating for several points on it because I didn't figure out how to do the puzzle basically because you had to do a certain move combinations. And if Revolver 360 has anything like that, I will stream it live so people can see my frustrations. But
Hey, if I have to stream myself getting scared, then we get to watch you being frustrated.
You've already saw me getting frustrated. Stinking Jet Set Radio.
Jet Set Radio.
I haven't played it again since that night. I was so irritated at the end of that.
So I'll go ahead and share my stuff. G-Tribe is KD. On Steam, KD Gaming? Or Games? I forget. It's on my overlay. Battle.net is KD pound 1779. And I have a league. I think it's KD Cat. Or I might still have it. I haven't logged into it in forever, so I could have lost it by now. I don't know. And my Twitch is KAY_DEE. It's not on my overlay yet because I only recently discovered that Gamecaster doesn't make my computer hate me. So I might actually start streaming soon. I won't have a pretty overlay, but maybe I'll be able to get started on this horror thing that everyone wants me to do. I'm so sad. Just thinking about it makes me sad. But that's it. So, unless anyone else has anything to add, we are done. Nothing?
Nothing except I'll find another sim for Joe.
Oh, jeez.
Another what? Why'd you say sim?
Sim. This is a simulation
Oh,
game.
No.
Like Hatful Boyfriend.
I finally realized I don't play those. It's finally not suggesting all anime titles.
No more pigeons?
No, I haven't gotten a dating sim on my.
I don't know.
page.
I want to give a shout out to somebody. I saw someone who was playing the Legend of Korra game that just came out, and I really want to see more of that. So if anyone
I'm
wants,
scroll through my feed and find that.
I don't know who
Buy
I
it
don't remember who it
for me.
was, but
More.
the whoever is playing that game, I would love to see like
Excuse me.
video gameplay of it from somebody inside the G Tribe community, because I love watching the shows. Although the original Avatar was much better.
Cease?
I'm interested in hearing what you got to say about it because the reviews were horrendous.
Yeah, I know, right?
You got like
So-
a 3 and a 4.
On Steam, it's gotten all positive reviews though.
and I think it's
Like, and that's from people with like 14 hours of gameplay.
yeah, and I think that the game is actually a solid game for those people who follow the series, but I don't think it is to someone who is just a typical review gamer. I think it's one of those niche games that doesn't really necessarily fit inside of some of the more popular review guidelines, and may or may not be something else. I don't know. I don't know. I'm curious to watch gameplay and then see someone actually finish the game. So
Yeah,
Looks like Metacritic hasn't rated it yet. I'd reserve judgment until Metacritic gives it a rating, just because Metacritic's normally actually pretty good.
well, it's an average of a whole bunch of reviews, so is what it typically
Yeah.
is.
They're
So
probably just waiting on more reviews for it.
absolutely.
Well, the console version, at least the PS4 version, says 56 for the critics and then 6.4 for the users.
56 is normally below the threshold that'll give it a shot, but you never know.
who knows? So that's why I just kind of want to hear a gaming tribe member's opinion. So bring it a little home, you know. It's like friends and family reviews. All right, sweet.
We all value each other's opinion more so than anyone else.
I don't value.
So yeah, thank you guys for joining us for another episode of GTInsider. We hope you enjoyed this episode. I sure did. Make sure you tune in next week for episode 31.
Sweet.
Bye.
Okay.